Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Wes Richardson, Unfiltered. All right, we got another easy meal. Today, you guessed it, Sloppy Joe. It's the Sloppy Joe. So yes, I'm 42 years old and I still eat Sloppy Joes. Why did we stop eating it? We ate it when we were kids and then we just forget about it, right? But I'm all about some quick and easy meals. So today we're gonna be doing some Sloppy Joe. So yeah, the video is about Sloppy Joe, but I'm also going to include some homemade tater wedges. Homemade tater wedges. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hope it helps somebody. It's a new channel, so please help me out and push the subscribe button. Push it. All right, let's go over the ingredients. So first I'll do the Sloppy Joe ingredients. First thing you're going to need, 2 pounds of meat. 2 pounds of ground beef. Next thing you'll need is the Man Winch Original. All right, so I got the big can. The big can is 24 ounces. There's a smaller can on the shelf. You go with a smaller can, you only need 1 pound of meat. I'm going with the big can with the big meat. And then you need some buns. All right, I went with fancy buns. These are brochet hamburger buns. I don't know what that means, but it says soft and subtly sweet, made with certified or something butters. They're butter buns, really. So. And then cheese. I like to put a little bit of cheese on my Sloppy Joes at the end while it's still hot. You don't have to do that. And that's it for the Sloppy Joes. With the homemade tater wedges, you're gonna need some potatoes. One of my potatoes is starting to grow potatoes, and I hope that's okay. Next thing you're gonna need is oil. Y'all remember the last video, I was just pouring oil all everything? Well, I got this little fancy thing now, so we're good. So you'll need some oil. You can use I'm going to use vegetable oil, but you can use olive oil. I'm going to use vegetable oil on this one. Salt and pepper. And I'm going to use Dano's Seasoning Spicy. Dano's Seasoning Spicy. All right, so if you're looking up homemade recipes online for homemade potato wedges, you're going to see people load this stuff down with basil, parsley, Italian seasoning, onion powder, and all this stuff. Folks, I don't do all that. I do salt and pepper and a little bit of seasoning. And the main reason is because I'm about to dip mine in a big old mouthful of ketchup. So I'm not too worried about that extra seasoning. So, but anyway, if you wanted to get fancy with it, you can. Also with these videos, obviously I'm not a chef. I say that in every video. Again, I'm all about some 30-minute meals. So, but be fearless when you cook. I mean, how do you learn how to cook if you don't try, right? So I was thinking, well, today I could do Sloppy Joes. I was like, that's only gonna take me 3 minutes. What can I add? And I was like, maybe I can do some homemade potato wedges. And folks, this is the first time I've made homemade potato wedges. So if it's terrible, I'm still gonna tell you it's good. I'm just kidding. Anyway, all right, so there's our ingredients. I'm gonna go ahead and get started with the potatoes because these after I cut these up, they gotta soak in water for like 30 minutes. So let's go ahead and start there. We ready? We ready. All right, so the first thing is scrub off your potatoes and make sure they are clean. So I just did that. You don't need to see me washing potatoes, do you? Next thing we're gonna do is try to cut these potatoes. It says 6 to 8 wedges. We're gonna do 8. So first thing I'm gonna do is just cut down the middle. Cut down the middle. And I'm gonna see if I can figure out a way to do 4 out of each half. That almost looks good though, don't it? Maybe a little too big. We'll cut it in half. All right. First 4. And again, I have not done these before. So you're learning with me here. So there's our first one. That was an odd shaped potato. All right, number 2. Here comes Coco. She knows I'm cooking. She only loves me for the food. All right, so I got my potatoes cut and put them in a big bowl. So it says to soak these in cold water for about 30 minutes, and it says something about it helps get off some of the starch. And then after you let them soak for about 30 minutes, you need to make sure they're as dry as possible. So soak them for 30 minutes in cold water, and then try to dry them off as much as you can. So while these are soaking, I think I'm just going to go ahead and cook the sloppy joes. Worst case scenario, sloppy joes is done. I can just have the sloppy joes on like a burner on low until I'm ready to finish up with the potatoes. So we'll start soaking. Y'all need to see potatoes sitting in water. We're going to go ahead and brown our meat. Now, some of you might be thinking, Wes, I know how to brown meat, okay? Well, this video is for everybody. All right, so not everybody knows how to brown meat. I remember when I got home from the Army and I worked at a restaurant for like 2-3 months when I first got home. I was working in the kitchen. They said, just brown this 8 pounds of meat. And I don't even know what you're talking about, right? So anyway, just be patient. The channel's for everybody, right? So usually when I brown meat, I've got 80-20 here. Just throw it in there. Usually when I'm browning meat, I usually do add salt, pepper, and I like to actually dice up an onion and put it in while it's browning. So just salt, pepper, diced onion, and maybe some seasonal. You can consider throwing in what I mentioned earlier, some of this Dan-O stuff. But the thing is, with sloppy joes, you're about to douse all of this in a sauce, and the sloppy joe sauce. So it's kind of pointless. The sloppy joe sauce actually has tiny pieces of onion as well. So I mean, you can put salt on it, you can put pepper on it, but the sloppy joe sauce is going to be just loaded with flavor, so it's not really going to matter. I might put a little bit of salt and pepper on here just because, whatever. But when you're browning meat, depending on the fat content of the meat, if it's 80-20, that's quite a bit of fat. I'm not going to be adding any oil to it. I'll just let the oil from the meat itself, or the fat, be the oil itself, and I'll actually cook it down to almost all the fat is burned off. If you're doing like 97.3, you might need to add something, or 95.5, whatever, you might need to add something. But 80-20, I usually don't add anything because the fat will do its thing. But like I said, I am going to add a little bit of salt and pepper. Here they are. I need to put smiley faces on these. On my videos, I use them. Maybe some smiley faces on the salt and pepper shakers. So I just got this on medium-high heat right now. Somebody also asked me, Wes, you just wear your Wes Richardson Unfiltered just around the house when nobody's around? You damn right I do. You damn right I do. Around the house, pajamas, wherever. Honestly, I hang them up when I'm not recording because I don't want to wear them out. I usually just put them on when I'm about to record. But this might be too much. I might just stick with the hat, not the hoodie, or the hoodie and not the hat. But anyway, I got bracelets and everything. I'm telling you, it's all about the branding. It's all about the branding. Anyway, we're going to heat that up. And then after it cooks, we're going to drain as much of the fat off of it as we can. Put it into a big pot. Add the sloppy joe juice. And then we can just start working on the potatoes. Hopefully the potatoes will be done by then. First time browning meat. Mash it up, smash it up. Some people like it in tiny little pieces. So just keep turning it. It'll burn on the bottom, turn it on. Burn on the bottom, turn around. Just keep going. I have a friend behind me here. I don't know if you can see how juicy that is. So you see, you don't need to add any oil. You don't need to add any oil. Just let the beef's fat do it for you. You don't need any oil. Some people will just keep mashing until they have tiny little pieces of meat. I like my meat chunky. I like chunky meat. What can I say? If you're looking for maybe like a healthier option, you could try ground turkey. I don't normally like. If you use ground turkey, I'll tell you, you got to season the crap out of it. I personally don't like the taste of it, but for something like sloppy joes, where you're just pouring a big can of sauce on it, where you're just going to be really just tasting more or less the sauce and not the meat, probably be okay. Can you imagine that? Ground turkey sloppy joes? Is that a thing? Tell me in the comments if that's just nasty. You tell me. All right, I think we're done. I can actually start smelling the browning of the meat. I'm not saying burning it, but I can smell it actually cooking. So let's go ahead and drain it. All right. We're going to add my meat and add the sauce. Pretty simple, right? My in-laws got me this pot set for Christmas, and it's a really nice one. I mean, really nice. I wonder if she's watching right now going, daggone, Wes, I got you that really nice pot set. You're over here cooking sloppy joes. Love y'all. And like I said, I'm just gonna let this sit on low on the back burner while I do the potatoes. Nom nom. All right, it says dry the potatoes off the best you can. This is probably not the right way to do it, but it says the more dry you get these potatoes, the better. So this is my shot. I'm dabbing them on a paper towel. This is probably too much. Feels like it's too much. I don't think I've ever seen anybody do this in the kitchen, but we'll see what happens. But again, it said the more dry they are, the better. So we'll see. They are a weird shape, man. I cut these weird. These are gonna be weird. I just hope they taste good. I don't care what they look like. All right, so we're good. So recipe calls for put them in the oven 425 to 450 degrees between 35 and 45 minutes. Flip them about halfway through. All right, so let's get ready to do that. Now, what I read on what I read online said use parchment paper, but I don't have any parchment paper, so this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna just take my aluminum foil and just spray it just a little bit. And the hope is that they're just not gonna stick to the pan, but I'm gonna take a paper towel, just lightly kind of rub everything in, make sure the whole thing's covered. I don't know if this is gonna work or not, but I got some spray pan in the thing, but I don't know. All right, so now what we're gonna do is just layer potatoes out, and it says don't get them overcrowded. And again, we're gonna flip them halfway through. So I feel like I'm gonna season them and then flip them and then put them in. Yeah, let me move faster. It specifically said not to get them very close, and I'm pushing it. All right, so what I'm gonna do is just lightly spray them with the oil, lightly put salt, pepper, and a seasoning, flip them over and do the same thing. But when I say lightly, I mean lightly. You don't wanna double dip on your seasoning. So just a little spray, that's it. Salt, pepper. Yeah, and do the oil first so the salt and pepper sticks. All right, let me see if I can do this without putting too much. Here's our Danos. Danos spicy. Folks, if anybody's watching and you've done this before, I mean, you can put me some tips in the comment. I just told you this is my first time doing it. But, I mean, a lot of times people don't want to comment because they feel like somebody's going to be offended. Y'all, they eat me up in the comments, and I don't care. Unfiltered. But I'm just saying, I can filter out the ones that are bad intent. But, I mean, if you know a better way of doing this, feel free to comment and let me know. Whoa. Yeah, well, if I screw this up, at least I got sloppy joes. Okay, I think that's it. I feel like I need a little more oil on top. They just seem kind of dry. The oven's almost preheated, so we're gonna do, I did mine at 400, I did the oven at 425 degrees, and it says about 35 to 45 minutes, and flip them halfway through. So as soon as the oven finishes preheating, we'll slide it in. Don't forget about your sloppy joes. Don't forget to stir them. All right, we've had them in the oven for, 17 minutes. I'm gonna flip them and put them in there for maybe like another 20. Whoa! Yes, I know it's done. All right, so potatoes are done, and we got our tester here. Just Bryce with Bryce and West Fishing. Y'all know Bryce. Taste that one there, and he's gonna tell us. He's gonna tell us what he thinks. It's not good.
It's pretty good.
Is it? What's wrong? And be honest.
Could use a little more seasoning, but it's pretty good.
Okay. All right. That's honest. More seasoning.
If you like it crunchy, a little bit longer.
Maybe a little more crunchy, a little longer. All right. We're gonna put it in the oven for maybe.
I like mine burnt though.
Like 10 more minutes, maybe.
Yeah.
Okay. 10 more minutes. Okay. Did y'all see that? He sure the hell did grab another one when he walked away, did he? Mm-hmm. Don't tell me it ain't seasoned good enough. Okay. Okay, so I put them back in the oven. I pulled one out. Y'all, this is good. is good. It does need a little more seasoning, and yeah, it does need a little bit more crunchy, but I'm surprised it actually tastes as good. Look, it don't look that good, but it tastes okay, and I'm about to dip it some ketchup anyway, so. Bryce just likes his really crispy, I think, right?
Yep.
Okay. All right, let's plate it up. So, hindsight. I think the seasoning was okay with this, with the potato wedges, or tater wedges, but I could see how people want to put like paprika and all this stuff on it. Tastes good to me. But anyway, Dano's is very thin, so I don't know if that would be the best option, but either way, it still tastes good, so just play around with the seasoning. Also, the parchment paper that I didn't have, that's gonna help because it's sticking to the aluminum foil even though I put oil on it. But other than that, it tastes good. So we're gonna plate it up and we're gonna dive in. My stomach's growling and I'm hungry. All right, we're all wrapped up. Sloppy Joe's with the homemade tater wedges. So yeah, it turned out pretty good. This is safe. I was like, man, if these tater wedges turned out crappy, at least we got the Sloppy Joe's, but they actually turned out really good. So anyway, hope you enjoyed the video. Hope it helped somebody. This is a new channel, so please do me a favor and push that subscribe button for me. Push it. Thanks again, everybody. We'll see you next time.